Greetings and praises in the name of Jah Rastafari. It's your boy, Tru-Dru of the Tru-Dru Show. Enough respect. This is episode 7, and this is a very important message. Let's get on a serious tip. I see a lot of things that are going on that is like in this country of the United States, the great United States of America, that has been gone totally ridiculous. I mean, if you see what's going on now, you got a lot of things that like the Trayvon Martin situation, the Brown situation, and you got this other guy who was choked to death by a police officer. If you notice that in America, that a lot of this violence against African Americans, even the Haitians, remember Diallo got shot so many times by the police, and all he was trying to do was reach for his wallet. He's telling me he didn't have anything, right? Police shot him so many times, and he wasn't even from this country. He was a black man from another country. So no matter how you look at it, you guys saying that we need to unite the African American community, yeah, I understand that. It's fine. But don't forget that there are other people that are born in the Americas, so they're also considered African Americans too. Like you got the Haitians, you got the Jamaicans, you got the Puerto Ricans. They definitely can be considered African American because they have the same mixture as many African Americans in the United States do have. And Puerto Ricans are United States citizens. So you also got to include them as well. And if you look at what's going on, basically, what I'm trying to do is make a general standpoint of what's going on. Black people, the reason why things are happening to us as black people in America is because we allow them to happen. Like the violence against us by white cops, we allow those things to happen. Now, don't get me wrong, things are happening wrong in the white community too, and it's a lot of white on white crime that no one wants to talk about. So why don't we just talk about this since I decided to tie this our community, the community, why don't we consider everybody in the United States as one community? Ain't that technically what we are? I mean, a country cannot run unless everybody is on the same level, very same level of wanting to do something for themselves. And the problem I have right now is that a lot of black people now, you got a lot of black men that are disrespecting black women and calling them all kind of names. I can understand now why there are so many black women that have decided to date out of their race. Because if you look at it right now, you have an actual alarming number of black women from around the world, but mainly in America, that are actually dating white men or preferring white men now. They don't want to have nothing to do with black men anymore because I understand, because a lot of black men are disrespected. I listen to the music. I listen to how the so-called African Americans took the African American cousins of Jamaican music, which is called hip hop, and they destroyed it single-handedly. You got to understand, a lot of it stems because from what the music we put out. We have that I don't give a fuck attitude. We want to be gangsters. We show our guns and doing stuff. And we encouraging other people to get quick money, the fast money. So when you're seeing a lot of innocent black people getting killed, you can't just sit down to yourself wondering, why is this happening to my son? Why is this happening? The reason why these things are happening is because we cause it. We are initiating the violence against us as a nation. All of us. And I'm talking about all people. I'm not talking about just one race of people. I'm talking about everybody. We all have to come together. There is no way a country can have a better economy if we're not on the same stand page. I do not see that happening. You guys run around like you can. I hear a lot of you guys complaining, saying that Iggy Azalea needs to say something about it because she's a part of the hip-hop community. Let me tell y'all something. They're out there to make their money and do their thing and to take care of their family. They have their own problems. So when you guys are in a neighborhood, you guys sitting in the same neighborhood where you allowing all this violence to happen, it's your fault. You guys want to act all hard against it, and you want to sag your pants and act like you the shit. You want to have a gun strap, don't you? You want to be hard. So guess what? Why don't you be ready to go to war with the cops then, since you want to act all hard? I don't understand you guys. You guys have this mindset, and you think that the only way that you're going to solve a problem is by using brute force. You guys want to put everything, y'all want to blame everything on the white race. Don't blame everything on the white race. Blame it on yourself. Because a lot of things that I see, and I witness it going on, I'm in a neighborhood where I see black folks don't give a fuck. I ain't gonna lie to you. I live in the ghetto right now, dude. I live in the friggin' ghetto. You know what I'm saying? And you got black folks in there that just rather just rob you, take everything from you, from what you have, and make sure you don't get nothing. Currently, right now, I'm sitting down listening to Warren Ballantyne. He's discussing the issue. And I was listening to, a few minutes ago, News Nation with Tamron Hall, which came on 11 a.m. this morning. And she was also talking about it. She's been talking about it for a long time. And The president even addressed it. And from what I was watching the news the other day, and it said that no other president has really addressed this issue that's been going on. The violence of cops, police brutality. Police brutality, I say, is a major issue. But guess what? You guys think it's going on here only in America against blacks. Why don't you guys go to the great island of Jamaica and see what's going on there? You got police brutality against blacks there as well. But Jamaica is, I can understand what you guys are saying, because Jamaica is a mostly black country. It's like maybe 85 or more percent black, which is true because my family comes from there, and I've recently been there over 20 years ago, so I'm sure the population is more than doubled. And yeah, I understand your point, but Jamaica does count. You gotta actually look at all the communities that are surrounding in this area. You guys also can't just look in America alone. You gotta look at the Americas, because the Americas now, if you guys look, the Americas includes South America, it includes Central America, and it also includes the Latin islands and the Caribbean islands. It actually shows a map of the United States and all the Caribbean and all the Latin areas. Those are all supposed to be a major concern, because if you really look at it, that's all pretty much in the same area. That's all the Americas. So if you're looking at a standpoint and you're saying that African Americans are a victim, you're right. Because if you're counting Mexicans, they're African Americans too. And the reason why I can explain that is because the Mexicans were already here as the Aztecs. And they're mixed too. The original Mexicans, if you look at the picture they have here, just like us, they had the same woolly hair and everything. They were very dark. They were darker than us. So you guys need to take a look at your history. The reason why, and I'm explaining this because the reason why that so much violence is happening against us is because we don't know our history. We don't know who we are. We don't know where we came from, and we don't know where we're going. In order for you to know where you're going into the long run, you have to know where you come from. We're divided against each other. See, the Edomites got us right where we wanted. Not the good Edomites I'm talking about. And for those of you who don't know who the Edomites are, the Edomites translate into white folk. Okay? And they are our brothers and sisters. You can also refer that they're actually related to blacks. They want to say that, some of them want to say no, they're not related and all that stuff. It's not true. Basically, I'm just trying to make a point. I'm trying to put everything into this point, which draws you to this point that I'm talking about with the violence, the senseless violence that's going on. First, you have to address what's going on in your music. For example, you got a lot of these so-called rappers that claim that they're for hip-hop. But if you look at the reality, they're not for hip-hop. They're just there for the cash, and the corporations own them. So they run around, they talk about this music. So the Edomites see this and saying that this is how we are as a people, because we endorse it. For example, you'll have some stuff saying something about I'll kill your mama and all that stuff, and you hear all that saying I had 99 women and all this stuff, and you guys are so into Lil Wayne that Lil Wayne has got y'all brain all messed up, and then you guys run around thinking that that's the way to go. That's why you think they're looking at us that way. Why are you guys wronging them for looking at us that way when we embrace that lifestyle? We want the rims, we want the fast life, and we want to be hard, and we want to run around like we don't give a fuck. And then we wear our pants sagging. So if you have that I don't give a fuck mentality, that's the way they're going to see you. So think about it. I know that we're stressed, depressed, and oppressed, but you got to understand the reality of this. You got to find your way out of it, man. You got to do it yourself. Ronald Reagan may have hated black people, but he had a point as a Republican. That's why he's my most favorite Republican of all time. He was saying that we need to go ahead and do it ourselves. We can't just depend on the government to do things for us. Look at us as black Americans. Look at us today. Think about it. What is the average thing we're doing? Aren't we actually saying that the president needs to do something? We're saying that we always try to bring the federal government into everything. And why can't we try to build a close relationship with the state and locals? Even the news is saying that. And it's common sense. That's because we don't want to. We want the government to do everything for us. Because the government owes us this. They owe us our 40 acres and a mule. Because we came here and our ancestors did that, blah, 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 blah. Get over it. Y'all need to do is do what we did before. We need to do exactly what we did years ago. I don't know if any remember the Black Wall Street. Why don't y'all set that back up again? Who's to say you can't do that now? We're in a country where black people are more richer than we used to be. You remember back when we started, we ain't had nothing. Everything was rubble, nothing. We ain't had crap. Everything was taken away from us, and we were forced to fend for ourselves and to better ourselves. This has come up from a guy who's never even knew his dad and had many father figures. And I've gone wise, I study, I do a lot of reading, and I come to the reality that a lot of us as black Americans, we're not trying to do anything to better ourselves. We're not encouraging ourselves. So why should we expect a better result? My condolences goes out to the Brown family, the Martin family, and all those other families, even the one that got choked by that police officer the other day. I can't remember the name because I'm so upset and I can't think about it. You can't even begin to realize how angry I am and aggravated I am of this issue. Because if you look at it, crimes against blacks by police officers is at an all-time high. It's actually higher than it ever been. Remember back when we had that 1965 Watts riots, when they were spraying us with fire hoses and sending their dogs at us? Well, guess what now? In a way, it's still different. Don't you notice that those same things are happening to blacks in a different way, but it's still the same? If you guys don't realize that reality, then you guys are it's really gonna be too late for y'all. Now, Martin Luther King, who is one of the greatest civil rights icons of all time, is behind me here. My brother put that post up, and I wanted to make a point about that as well. Martin Luther King said that he had a dream for a better America. I still see it. I still see America could be better, but it's going to take some time still, even though we've made so much progress. We've made a lot of progress as African Americans. We've done a lot. You know what I'm saying? And then you have Bob Marley. He took the reggae music and took it mainstream to the United States and around the world. And sometime around that period, that's when hip-hop was formed by DJ Kool Herc, who was a Jamaican from Jamaica. You got to remember, too, this is how you got to look at as African Americans. Y'all going to have to start thinking y'all going to have to generalize the term African Americans like I have. Because I've actually found proof on how even the Caribbeans, the Latinos, and everybody who was born in America can actually be considered African American interchangeably, because they're going through the same things you're going through. They're pretty much mixed with the same nationalities you're mixed with. We come from the same 12 tribes of Israel. If you guys were smart enough and y'all pick up a book and read the Bible and get some sense out of the knowledge that you could pick up like I do, then you would know how we all connect as one nation. If you think about it, there's like maybe several different types of African American, different versions of who could be called an African American, and that starts with the Italians, because remember the name Africa comes from Romanus Africanus, who conquered Africa and defeated Hannibal I, and that was in North Africa when that took place, and that was when it wasn't even Africa then; it was called Alkebulan, the land of the blacks. That's where everybody actually came from. There's still much proof being found that everybody, every race, and I'm talking about from Israelite, the Hebrew Israelite, the Hebrews, and the Edomites. All of them came from there, and actually has a map of the kingdom of Edom. If you look at the map of kingdom of Edom, they're not that far from Israel. They are actually called the 13th tribe of Israel. So, in order for you guys to get the message that I'm trying to put here, I decided that I'm just going to put everything that works, put everything that makes sense, and make you guys take the sense out of the nonsense. Because everything I'm giving you is sense, and if you think it's nonsense, then you guys need to go pick up a book and start reading. Y'all need to see it. And what I'm going to do is, since you guys don't really realize the truthfulness, I am actually going to show you a picture of the 12 tribes of Israel. And many of the 12 tribes of Israel are actually here today in the Western Hemisphere, which is why I was able to come with the conclusion that African Americans can actually include Latinos, such as Puerto Ricans, definitely. But some Puerto Ricans like to refer to themselves as Hispanic. But guess what they don't realize? Hispanics are black. And I'll tell you how I know this fact. You remember long ago when the Moors ruled Spain? When they ruled Europe? They ruled all of Europe. I'm talking about all of it. 100% of Europe was in the I don't want to say captivity, but I'll say was under the rule and influence of the Moors. And guess who the Moors are? You want to know who the Moors are, right? Those are those black African, Ethiopians, Somalians, anybody who comes from the tribe of Ham, even the Canaanites. And the Canaanites include Asians. Everything that has been prophesied in the Bible and been talked about in the Bible beforehand has actually come to pass. Think about it. If you look at it today, aren't today's Canaanites serving the Edomites? First of all, in order for me to explain this, they said that the Canaanites would serve the Gentiles. Today's Gentiles, maybe many of them, maybe not all of them, are mixed with Edomite blood. There's actually proof of that. You can go find out for yourself. I actually do a lot of reading, and I actually have a picture of the Table of Nations where who comes from and what, as proof as to who we are, where we come from, and where we belong, and what we need to do. Now, I'm going to get back to the point. Unless we begin to address the issues that are happening in our community, first we got to address the issues within ourselves. We cannot get no respect from any other ethnic group unless we all look together and say, guys, what are we doing wrong? We come together and we all have that unison mind. It's not going to work without unison mind. You guys will keep on crying for help, beg for the government, this and that, for them to help you. It's not going to happen. You can forget about it happening. Because, first of all, the government responsibility is the whole country. And right now, the government got their plate full. You got to remember, they dealing with the ISIS attack that's going on, over there in, I believe it's going on in Iran, somewhere. Yeah, I think it's Iran. I don't want to make too much mistake, but I believe it's going on in Iran or somewhere like that. And then you have the issue with the Gaza Strip, where Israel is just dropping bombs and bombs and bombs on the innocent Palestinians. Oh, just to remind you, the Palestinians are the Canaanites of the Bible. They even have all the physical characteristics of what the description of the Canaanites of the Bible. And you notice that they're being attacked by. If you also read the Bible too, there's also proof that you see those so-called Israelis, that they're not the Israels. They're not Israelites. They're not them. I've actually went back and found the scripture that shows it. It was saying something about how they were under conquer because they were the Edomites that were attacking the Israelites, and then they were under control by the real Jews and converted them to Jews, and that is how they were able to. At first, you would think that they wouldn't want to have nothing to do with it because they were being almost forced into that way of life, and that they would just go ahead and just instantly turn against it and turn away from it, but they did not. Instead, they got smart and adapted to it, and they adapted to it, learned all the languages. That's why they're learning all the languages and all the stuff of our history, our ancestry history that we should be learning about. And now they know much of it and we don't. And that is why they're able to get away with the things they can get away with. If you look at it, the Zionist Jews, they control the media. You know Fox News, right? Rupert Murdoch's a Jew. He's a racist Jew. But guess what? He's married to a Canaanite, an Asian woman. And let me explain that to you too. That's another thing too. A lot of Asian women, you see a lot of Asian women, notice that they are taking the side of the enemy too. They're going out and they're marrying in high numbers. And what they don't realize is that they don't even know it's because of the curse of the Canaanites. That is part of the curse of the Canaanites for them to do that. That is why you've seen so many numbers of Asian women with European men. And the European men also present themselves as always rich. So they always have this mindset that all European men are rich, they're all gentlemen, and they're the best men that they could ever have. They've been taught this, which is why you have these things going on today. And like I say, black people, y'all really don't see what the problem is. I know what the problem is and I know the solutions, but are you willing to take the step to come with me to say, yo, let's do this together? I bet not. Because in order for y'all to stop the violence in your community, you got to stop the violence against yourself. Because y'all running around shooting each other. Y'all talk about, and I have no problems with any gangs. Even if I say their name, I have no problem with Bloods or Crips or MS-13s or any of them. But why don't we, let's say for example, why don't we form a gang, if you want to call it that, or a clique or a posse like they call it in Jamaica, because Jamaica got mafias there too. But why don't we call it that as some of one that's going to stand for peace, and when we help everybody in the community. Let's say we're in an impoverished community. Everybody's mad. Everybody has that potential to start a gang because there's no hope and there's nothing happening for them. Because that's when usually gangs occur. That's the purpose of gangs, because gangs are a unison of people that come together to do something, to make something happen in the community. Bet you I didn't know that. Do you know that the initial for Crips is Community Revolution in Progress? That's what the word Crips mean originally. See, a lot of you guys don't know that, and I study some of the Crip history, but I don't know everything about it, and I'm not going to say I do because I don't. I have a friend that I know that's a Crip. That's about it. And I'm cool with Bloods and Crips anyway because I respect them. They're doing their thing. But why don't we all come together, all the other gangs, and I'm talking to everybody that's doing so, why don't we all come together to do something about the community? Because then again, they would have to listen to us. Think about it. If we could all easily become a majority. We could all easily become a majority if we all were to come together as different cliques and crews and we work together and help each other. Forget about robbing from each other, stealing and killing from each other, and raping and all that stuff against each other. Why don't we all come together? We are the most divided community there is. And the reason why we are the most divided community is because We believe everything we've been taught negatively. We believe all the stereotypes. We accept whatever's being told to us. For example, like someone could say that you're an inferior person for so many years, for the past 500 some years, and over time, and you've been raped, your generation's been messed up for so many years, that it becomes to a perceptive reality to you. So I can understand some of that, but we have all got to come together. The elder and the younger, we got to work together. Now my computer kind of like doing this thing, and I kind of want to see myself talk, but the point of the matter is this. In order for us as a community to really be respected and people to say, okay, you know, all right, for example, I'll give you a better example. When it comes to voting, what do most black people vote as? Don't we mostly vote as Democrat? What has the Democrats done to us in the past? What have they done for us in the past? Think about it. Weren't they the same ones that had us in chains, enslaved us, and wanted us back into slavery? And some of you guys don't even know your history, that the fact that even though the British enslaved blacks and had at one point conquered America and conquered the part of much of the world, after the Americans defeated the English, or the I'm gonna call them the English. I don't want to call them the British. They ain't really the British. I guess whatever. Well, British, English, same thing. I guess I don't know. But after they lost, after the United Kingdom lost, they reformed. And what I mean by reform, I ain't say reform, regroup, and came back. They reformed. They did come back. But when they came back, guess what they came back to do? They came back to help the African Americans. They came back and they fought against the Americans to free the African Americans. And a lot of you guys, y'all want to be proud of y'all 4th of July waving the United States flag, but y'all didn't know about that. Y'all don't want to talk about that. Y'all should be showing much of y'all love to Great Britain. Yeah. Y'all need to be showing them some love, but guess what? Y'all want to disrespect them and say that they're the reason why this and that and blah, blah, blah. Yeah, but you got to understand, they came back to free y'all. They wanted to take y'all back to the UK, but I heard some stuff about what happened because I was watching the documentary of it, because they did play it. But a lot of you black Americans don't want to read your history. You don't watch the History Channel. You don't watch the Discovery Channel. You don't watch anything. So all you guys do is sit around and watch VH1. Y'all want to watch Love and Hip Hop New York, Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. Now y'all got this fuckery called Love and Hip Hop Los Angeles with Baby Daddy, Mr. Baby Daddy himself, Omarion, who I got much love for, but he didn't marry his chick. But that's what a lot of you black Americans want to do, is just run around, breed up a woman, and then y'all have kids with her and say that you're a baby father, and that's cool. There's nothing cool about that because you didn't marry her. Now you have a bastard child. So you guys are proud to bring bastards into the world, right? So when you guys are being looked at negatively, why are you so angry and upset about it? Why are y'all being so angry and upset about the retaliation that's being done against y'all? Everything has a cause and effect. And the reason why things are happening to you is because you allow it and you want it to happen. So don't lie and say, oh, no. Look at Sierra, for example. A lot of African American women look up to Sierra and say, Sierra's a great hero. She can't do no wrong. But what did Sierra do? Ran with the Haitian American dude named Future, right? Knowing that he got baby mamas all over the place. And he ain't got no ties to none of them because he ain't married any one of them. So Sierra's like, I don't care. And hang out with the baby mamas, all up and all pretty up in the picture, right? Then she gets pregnant by him, right? And then they get engaged. Then after that, I said to the whole world on Facebook, and I did say this, that Future's going to cheat on her. What makes you think? I wish her the best of luck and maybe hope it would last. But I already knew Future was going to cheat on her, because once a cheater, always a cheater. Future to me is nothing but a dirty, rotten scoundrel. And I'll tell it to his face, and I don't care if he retaliates, because to me, what he did was wrong. You can't just bang up a woman, leave her aside. If you smart, why don't you just commit this kind of act, what Akon does, and go to another country and marry all those baby mamas you have? Then technically you won't have it'll be the same thing. But if you want to be that way, a bigamist, do that. Do that in another country somewhere where it's legal. I mean, if he was smart, that's the smartest thing he could have done. Because now you got all these baby mamas. And Lil Wayne is doing the same thing, but guess what? You guys want to look up to him. You guys want to be like him, fine. So don't expect the Edomite community to respect you at all. Don't expect them to respect you. Stop expecting something when you're not giving anyone a reason to do it. You don't give. I don't understand, because it's hypocritical, because you're talking at the side of your mouths, and then at the same time you commit another act. Look, for example, a lot of you so-called Negroids want to run around and talk about how, oh, I love being a light-skinned girl, light skin. light skin, thinking light skin is the most perfect, the most beautiful, the most flawless skin because the father the father was white or the mother was white and one of the other parents was black, right? Well, guess what? You guys don't realize the reality of this is that you guys may love light skinned women. That's good. And they got light skinned women that will give you the time of day because mostly you got a lot of light skinned girls that'll rub you off in the right way. But I'm telling you this right now. The majority of light skinned women are going to white men. Sorry to tell y'all that. And it's a wake up call because you guys are not seeing it. Just like how the majority of Latinas are doing it. And I see the majority of black women doing it. So a lot of you black men want to praise your light skinned women. Go ahead and do it. Because guess what? You can go and praise her, but she ain't gonna look at you no more. Cause she gonna see the Edomite man, and she gonna run to him and have his children, like a lot of them are doing. Because a lot of you black men are abandoning who you once were. Think about it. I am gonna apologize for all the no good black men in the world, even though I'm not one of them. But I'm gonna apologize because I want black women to know that there are good black men out there, and I want them to see that there is more to it than just us thugs that wear our pants sagging, we are about money. But a lot of you black women also have a lot of waking up to do because a lot of y'all want thugs. Y'all want that money. Where I live at in Melbourne, Florida, that's all these sisters are about. All black, mostly all the black women. Out of all the black women here, 3/4 or almost more than three, I'd say, but almost 100% of all black women in my area in Melbourne, Florida, period. Brevard County. Matter of fact, well, let's use the whole term because it's actually true. In Brevard County are all baby mamas. And if they're not baby mamas, they're with white men. If they're not with that, they don't want you. They won't talk to you. They're stuck up there, rather stay single, will not give you the time of day. That is the opportunity you have in Melbourne, Florida, and that is the opportunity you have in Brevard County, Florida. And unfortunately, that is so. So, the only chance you have in Brevard County, if you want a serious relationship with a good woman, is with a white woman. And I'll tell you why. 75 to 85% of the population in the whole state of Florida is white. And not only that, like the average people that move to Florida from other states are mostly white. So no matter what, this will always be a mostly white state. But that is a good thing too, because the whites here are very nice and they're very friendly. And you notice that they voted Democrat. They had to vote Democrat because Democrat was the only one at the time that was appealing for them. Now they're seeing the true natures that you can't trust either party. Why do you think I decided to get smart and become an independent conservative? I'm smarter than a lot of y'all because a lot of y'all just want to say, okay, we're going to look up to the Democrat because the Democrats this and Democrats that. But the reason why you are in this crazy cesspool of madness, because I have to talk slow so you guys can get it. The reason why you're in this crazy cesspool of madness is because of your actions. So in order for you to be respected, you have to first do what needs to be done to respect. And you have to respect first. Respect goes a long way. My uncle's told me that even though he doesn't respect me, because he called me all kind of names. But my mom and my grandma, all of them said the same thing. Respect goes a long way. In order for you to be respected, you have to respect yourself. Black people, do we respect ourselves? How many of us running around with 5 or 6 baby daddies and 7 or 8 children or whatever, and all these children running around, and we want the government to do everything for us? You guys got to think, man. You got a lot of, we got a lot of good black Americans that are successful in achieving, but you got the ones that are not about anything, that are louder, way louder than the ones that are actually trying to do something. So they see that and they see that that's what they look at it and say, that's what we are about. So in order for you guys to be respected as a nation and to be helped and to get the help that you so-called want, you got to first turn to each other and help yourself. Your community cannot be helped by itself. You guys are like, oh, we need this in our community. The government needs to. Why you guys? And it's your community. I don't understand this. You guys have your own community and you want people to do stuff for you. So guess what? Then I guess that now I'm not gonna. Let me just be sarcastic then and actually play you on your and what you're saying. Okay then. I want something to eat. I'm so hungry. But I want the government to feed me food. I want to wake up every morning and get up and go to work. But the government needs to come and wake me up so I can go to work. That way I can make money. I want to breathe. But in order for me to breathe, the government has to come and say that, We're going to help you breathe. I want to think, but I can't think because the government, I need the government. Government, why are you not here? Why are you not here helping me? Do you notice how stupid and ridiculous y'all sound? Y'all want people to come out. Y'all always calling out Reverend Al Sharpton and Jesse Jackson, right? But I'm afraid to tell y'all, reality wake up calling a lot of black people. I see that y'all starting to slowly wake up, some of y'all. That Reverend Al Sharpton and Jesse Jackson, they're double agents. But I am not saying not to trust them because I was once in the National Action Network headquarters in Decatur, Georgia, Stone Mountain area chapter in Georgia when I was still in Georgia, and that was around 2011, 2012 time, and I was a part of that, and I was actually doing things, and I was actually, you know, I do a lot of stuff online. Like, there's a lot of things that I will send to you guys online, like those of you who are my Facebook friends, and those of you who are my Twitter friends, I'll put messages up and show you that I'm doing something. And I actually done something. I've done something to help the United Way. I've actually done a lot of things in the community. But my point is this. In order for you to be respected as a human being, treated as a human being, and looked at as a human being, you have to first act as a human being. Nobody's going to treat someone who doesn't act as a human being as a fucking human being. You guys running around talking about, I'm gangster, I'm a thug, and y'all running around shooting each other, running around with your rims, and y'all selling y'all dope and all stuff and trapping. Believe you me, I've been there. I've been trapping. I used to sell and stuff like that. I used to do stuff like that, but I done got out of that stuff because that stuff is fuckery. I only did that because I was trying to make money and I was trying to have a place to stay over, a roof over my head with me and my uncle, and we was doing our thing. But I'm going to let y'all know this, man. Keep it serious, man. Keep it real. You can't be a half-ass about shit. You guys always expecting people to do things for y'all and do that for y'all, how the world owes y'all shit. Nobody owes y'all a motherfucking thing. The only person that owes you something is yourself. Y'all need to be getting on y'all knees, praying to God and getting right with God right now. I'm not saying y'all got to go to church or nothing like that, but I'm saying, yeah, going to church helps. I'm not a religious person, but I do go to church. You can find me in church usually every Saturday and Sunday. Because I don't look at religious none. I'm not like you idiots that think that Christianity's going to come save you, with some white Jesus is going to come out of nowhere and save you. Because I'm going to let y'all know that there's no such thing as Jesus. Jesus never existed. The letter J is only like 500 years old. And you guys still don't know that. You guys are still praying these, oh Lord, Jesus, Jesus. Where is he? I'm going to laugh at y'all because I'm going to tell y'all why. Because I'm going to call y'all card out right now. I'm going to call out your card. And I'm going to tell you this. Y'all go around and say that name so many more times, and all y'all black gonna keep on saying so many times, expect him to come. And guess what? He is gonna show up. But guess how he gonna show up as? He gonna show up as the Antichrist. And that's the Antichrist that everybody's been talking about, and y'all don't know it. The seed of Satan gonna come and he gonna say he's the one that's coming to save y'all. He gonna say that he was the one that died on the cross. Y'all know, and guess what? Y'all don't even know either. If y'all knew y'all damn history, y'all would know that Yahshua never died on the cross. Yahshua, Emmanuel, the first, his real name, you can go look it up if you want to, because it's there, clear as day, but you guys don't do that. He died of hanging. So what y'all don't know, since the ancient days of hanging, why do you think the children of Esau continue to hang us during the times of slavery when they were hanging us? That's where that stemmed from. That's the very first, one of the first hangings, because they hanged him and they hanged the other two. I think the other two were thieves. One was a thief and a murderer, but he had asked God to forgive him for what he done because he didn't know better. And that's when Yahshua was like, Father, forgive them for they know not what they do, right? So take this point and lesson. Because I did tell y'all, excuse me again, got an indigestion problem. But I did tell y'all that the Tru-Dru show was going to be about issues. Whether you guys want to listen or make fun of this or whatever y'all want to do with it, it's fine with me. But I'm just letting y'all know that this is just a wake-up call. And I'm just trying to put some knowledge in your head. I gave you the knowledge. Go look it up. First of all, I'm going to kick you some quick knowledge. I might just make a video about it. Because there was a video that proved that we are all connected as groups. Okay. Remember earlier I was telling you just now as I was talking, how the agents of Canaanites, which is true, right? Okay. You know that the so-called Chinese folks, you know they come from the tribe of Ham, right? Do you know the original Chinese were darker than dark, right? Like black as tar, right? There's pictures of them everywhere. So all you so-called Chinese and Japanese and Filipinos or whatever y'all want to call yourself today want to run around and act as if y'all not black, I might just go ahead and go look up the Table of Nations and just put it on there so y'all can see at the end of the video. So by the time when I get to the end of the fucking video, you guys can wake up and see the reality. Because you guys want to turn away from the Lord, and the Lord is going to put y'all in payback because He's going to show y'all what time it is. That's what the Edomites is here to give us a wake-up call. Now, we as a people, we need to not hate anybody. It also says in the Bible, you are not to abhor an Edomite. That means you are not supposed to hate white folks, dude. I don't. I love them. And I'm not going to say that I'm against interracial dating either. But at the same time, that is something you got to be careful about, because it is actually a big issue talked about in the Bible, because there are some parts in the Bible, according to the Old Testament, where race mixing was not supposed to be allowed. Because remember, Esau, the white dude, went with the Hamite's daughters, the Cushite. I don't know if she was a Cushite or what version of Ham she was, but she was from the tribe of Ham, a daughter of Ham. Esau went into her and had children with her, and those children became Edomites because of the father. So what you guys fail to realize too is that a lot of you black American women want to say, because a woman is like, all right, I'll give you an example. A lot of y'all want to say that Paula Patton is not black, but she's just mixed. I understand that she's mixed, but she's still black. And the reason why she's black is because of her father. Remember, your father determines your ethnic, racial group. Once the father goes in, that's his child. It's the mother's child too, because she carried him in the womb. But you gotta look at the technical term. This is since the Old Testament, way before all y'all so-called smart, young-ass dumbins were around. And that includes myself. The father determines your race, man. So if your father is a white man, you are a white kid. If your father is a black man, you're a black kid. It's the same difference. So the point I'm trying to make is Esau went in with like about 3 or 4 women from the tribe of Ham and had Edomite children with them. But it was at that time it was forbidden. It was in the Old Testament. I don't know if it's still forbidden today or not or what. I don't think it is, because I think the world is changing, and I think God wants all His people to return to Him. And we have 12 tribes of the original 12 tribes of Israel. Then you have the 13th tribe, which is Esau's children, the Edomites, the whites, and that includes all the Europeans, all the whites. They're the 13th tribe of Israel. So they're also, all of us as the 12th tribe of Israel has been cursed, and the children of Ham, which are the Canaanites, have been cursed. If you look at today's Asians, you notice that a lot of the Asians are doing backwards things. A lot of them are doing backward things, especially mainly the women are doing it. They're marrying white men in high numbers, and a lot of them, to tell you the truth, matter of fact, and the reason why I'm talking about this too, because I can. My brother is married. You've seen the picture. His wife is half Filipino, half Mexican. That was her mom's first husband. They divorced. Since they divorced, she went on and moved on with an Edomite man named Klinghoffer. He's from the Edomite tribe. That's a German name. And she's been married to him for quite a bit. So I'm not saying anything bad about their marriage or anything. I know the marriage is a decently good marriage. And a lot of times they argue. Basically what I'm trying to say is the grass is not green on the other side. Everybody argues. So what I'm making the point about with a lot of Asian women is that a lot of them do this purposely because they think that race is better for them, and they've been taught to hate. And that's a curse. They've been taught to hate us as a people, and they don't even realize that we're the same people, because if you look at it, don't you see how a lot of black people look like Chinese too? Because we're their cousins. We're related to them. What I'm basically trying to say is that we all got to come together as a nation. The only way we're going to come together is if we first work with it ourselves. We all got to start doing town meetings, man. You guys haven't even learned from that movie Original Gangsters what's been going on. You guys, if you look at the movie, they had a town hall meeting inside the church. Reverend came, and the Reverend had this is what the Reverend would be the mediator, which it still does make sense. It sounds kind of crazy to some people, but it kind of makes sense. Like, we're not saying set up a truce, but I don't know if you want to say set up a truce or whatever you want to call it, but basically call all the people together. Call the police forces that are having the issue with us. Call our community and have someone mediate and have everybody come together. This is the only way you're going to stop this senseless violence. And we have to actually come together with ourselves. Like, for example, The African Americans of America got to come together. We got to come together. And then after that, then first the Caribbean African Americans got to come together. Then then the Latino African Americans need to come together first within themselves. And then after that, then each group proposes to each other a plan that would work in all three of their favors. And with that plan, when it works, because it will, because all three of y'all in unison, then and only then can you achieve prosperity and greatness. You cannot achieve that if you're all divided, we all hate each other. Because you got black folks hate each other. We're the only group that hate each other. Think about it. The Mexicans are more together than we are. The Europeans are more together than we are. Even though you have a lot of white on white crime, there's still more. If you look at it, a lot of times you'll see them come together still. We're the most divided ethnic group. When are you guys going to get it, man? Are y'all going to wait until when the Messiah Yahshua himself comes? Are y'all going to wait until when he comes and that's when you're going to come together and say, okay, we need to do something? By then it'll be too late. Y'all need to do something within yourselves. Y'all got to wake up, man. The only way, it's like you guys want everything to come, but it's like you're not making the effort. You have to make the effort for something to happen. You can't just sit there and expect things to happen. I used to be like that as a kid, but I started wising up and it's like, yo, I got to make things happen. Back in the day, I used to shop my music I'll give you an example. Back in the day, I tried to shop my music to record labels. They wasn't hearing me because I didn't have that sound that they wanted. They wanted that corporate bullshit. They wanted me to tell lies about my life. But I said I wasn't what I wrote. And I've been doing the rap game since I was 19. I'm still in the game. I'm still underground. I'm going to stay underground. Now I'm back regrouping. I got my own label. I have my own label since 2007, independent. The only reason why things ain't happening now because money is slow. Money is slow right now. Things are slow for me. And I'm back in Florida where things are even more slow. And things will come back. Things will come back then. By the time when November comes around, when I start hitting up and do my thing and try to go to New York, you're going to see things pick up. I'm just doing my thing because I just wanted to vent my anger. And I'm just completely pissed about what y'all doing. You guys are like crying and complaining about Trayvon Martin, what's his name? Robert Brown, I think his name is, and the other dudes. The dude who got shot by a police officer, and then the other dude who got shot right not too far from the Brown shooting. Y'all don't even know why it's happening. Then you got this black dude. Y'all don't understand. I understand your anger, but when you're angry, you're agitating them. The dude had a knife in his hand and was like, yo, shoot me. And then he came at the police officer within feet from him. What the police officer gonna do? He told him to put his gun down. He wouldn't put his gun down. See, black people expect us to be respected, but we're ignorant. Ignorant ass people. How the fuck are you going to be respected and be like this person if you ignorant? We have to love each other. We have to love everybody. And we have to love ourselves. That is the only way we're going to get things to be the way it needs to be. What y'all need to do is start a grassroots campaign in your community. That's all I can tell you to do. I can't go over there and do it for you. I'm actually in the process of doing that now. Right now in Melbourne, Florida is about to become like the next big city where I'm actually starting a grassroots campaign, and I'm doing it through music because I'm going to do my music promote, and I'm actually going to be going around doing things in my community. I've been doing it for a long time. I just never videotaped it. But for the first time ever, you're going to actually see me in person actually doing things in my community. I told you that the Tru-Dru show was about talking about community, and this is the one community issue that I wanted to talk about. It's very important, man. You guys, the only way y'all going to get something to happen is if you start a grassroots campaign in your community. For example, let's say, you know some of the baddest dudes, some of the baddest thugs. What could they be? Couldn't they be like a police in your area? Shouldn't they be the cops? They protect this whole area and make sure that this area is safe. Make sure that everybody's okay and everybody's able to pay their rent and get everything taken care of. Because let me tell you what's going to happen. If you take care of the entire community, you're going to be able to do a lot more better. The community's going to grow and it's going to do a lot more better. It's going to flourish. This is what African Americans need to do now. And I'm actually telling y'all now, and I'm hoping y'all listen. These are the things y'all need to do. And I ain't even going to write. You guys probably need to write down some of y'all because some of y'all are slow. No disrespect. Some of us are slow. Number one, y'all need to come together first. Y'all need to start talking to each other and find out what's wrong. Y'all need to console each other in time of need. Y'all need to look at each other and say, hey, man, we need to solve each other's problem. Because I know if I solve you, scratch my back and I scratch yours. No more of that pretend bullshit and half-assing bullshit. Start doing it. The time is now. Number two, After you already set up to between you and the people in your part of the community, like your section, you go to the other section of the community, and try and figure out a solution with them. And y'all come together. All of y'all come together. Before y'all even start a town hall meeting, y'all all got to come together and know each other's community. You need to go ahead and start knowing your neighbors. You need to start knowing who they are, find out their needs and what and all that stuff, and make sure they know the same about you. Make sure they know you personally. They don't have to know everything about you, like your birthday and your social and all that stuff. But basically, what I'm trying to say is make sure they know something about you. So if anything happens, they know something. You keep the community together. Before you even start, like I said, another step before you even start a grassroots you can start a grassroots campaign in the third step. So I'll give you step number 4. Step number 4, what you need to start doing now is putting more money into your own damn community. Like, for example, like me, in my community, a lot of times I'll put money back into I'm one of the few black Americans that'll put money back in his community. I'm just so mad that I can't even talk in my Jamaican accent right now because I'm very angry. Normally, I usually talk with a Jamaican or a British accent because those are my two real accents. But I speak American because I've been in America a long time and I'm an American citizen. So that makes me an African American in that sense. But all I'm trying to say is, man, that I wouldn't, if I didn't give a fuck to say anything about the country that I live in, I wouldn't even make this video. Another thing you guys need to do is you guys need to start, after you start your grassroots campaign and you start putting money into community where you can do things, then you all need to set up a community watch. A community watch in your area. For example, a community watch would work because you have a lot of people in the community seeing what's going on. During that time when you form all those things that I'm telling you to form, then you would also need to put a lot of rec centers. You need a rec center in your area for the young kids because the young kids have nothing to do. Make sure they have a book to read. There's video games where they can play video games. You give them like maybe an hour of video games, an hour of reading, an hour of exercise, playing gym. Give them something to do. Give them something to put hope in the community. You can play you can have music where they do talent shows. What I'm trying to do is actually set up a community center where people can actually go out and start rapping and doing music, singing and doing their talent, and they're actually being recognized for it, where it's being video recorded. We'll do talent shows. It's not going to be a contest yet. We'll do some contests here and there and stuff like that. But all I'm saying is, even the drawing contest, any kind of thing that can give them something to do. Find out what your kids in your area like to do, what they want to do. Pay attention to your kids. That's another thing you need to do. A lot of you guys just want to have children all willy-nilly, but y'all don't want to try to find out what they need and what they want. Because their time is different from our time. My time is different from my mom's time. My mom lived in that country slow life. I'm born in the country too, but at the same time, I want the faster life because I'm younger. And I want to do it while I still have a few young years left. And do my thing and get out there and spring out. So, all I'm saying is, since I got older and I see that there's not even rec centers in my community. So yeah, that's why crime by black kids are continuing. We're continuing to commit crimes out here because the community over in my area, the hood is cleaned up a bit, but it's still nothing there for them to do anything. All there is a library sitting there, but they don't have a community rec center. You guys need to get together with your local government. Start coming together. After you do the town hall meeting and all that stuff I just told you, now is the time when you contact your local government. But you black people are so dumb, y'all just jump to the federal government and think the federal government's supposed to do everything. No, you start with your state and local government. Doesn't matter if they like you or not. They have to understand you. If you come as a whole community, who's not going to listen to you? If you all come like a bunch of people, just come like a stampede and say, hey, we demand solutions. And you come up with solutions. Before you even come to the town hall, make sure you guys have step-up solutions that you feel should happen in your community that can make the community a better place and that can prevent black-on-black crime and police brutality. The cause of police brutality is actually black-on-black crime. I'm just letting y'all know that. A lot of y'all want to sell drugs in your community and kill your own selves. A lot of y'all want to do stupidness. A lot of y'all don't think before you act. So, take this advice from me. I know it took me a whole hour to do this. And I'm surprised y'all took the time to listen to it. But the fact of the matter is, unless y'all take these steps to get to know each other in your own community, because like in my community, I know pretty much everybody. People are actually starting to know who Tru-Dru is in this community, even though I was a little known. Now I'm actually becoming more known than I was because I actually shake hands with people in this hood. And I go to the worst part of this hood and shake hands and that with people too. because at the same time, you know, my life may be at stake. I'd rather die knowing that I've tried to do something for the community than to just sit around and do nothing. That's just not me. God bless you all. I appreciate all y'all for listening to the Tru-Dru show. I'm going to go back and listen to the rest of the Warren Ballantyne show because there's only 12 minutes left of the show before it finishes. And I'll go listen to him address this issue. And I'm going to come back with more concerning this issue. Thank you very much. This is the Tru-Dru show, episode 7. We out. God bless. You know what? And another damn thing. You know what I forgot to say, man? And I'm just still listening to the Warren Ballantyne show, and I'm hearing all these African Americans still saying that Obama needs to be more active and he needs to do this. You guys depend on the president to do everything. So this proves that African Americans do not have their own will. They don't have a mind of their own. They just depend on one person to help them, the government to help them out. So, but she did make a strong point when she was saying that they need to be more the police needs to be more involved in the community. Well, she didn't say it like that. I say that. I think the police need to be more involved in the community. And then she was saying that more police needs to come from the community. She had a point there, and I agree with her on that. But why don't we just play an Arsenio parody here? Things that make you go, Have you ever wondered, why is all this violence going on while President Barack Obama is in office? Do you notice that since Obama has taken office, that crime against blacks has actually increased? You want to know why? Because the Edomites are showing an example that we ain't shit. Better wake up. They're letting you know that despite who's in office, that ain't going to stop them from fucking your ass up. You guys, I'm just letting y'all know this is a warning too. This is actually a prophecy warning. America is on a prophetic time clock. And America only has a few years to go. And once those few years are gone, America is going to be utterly destroyed. I'm just letting y'all know because this country, you heard what Marcus Garvey was saying and all these others said it too. Emperor Haile Selassie I said it himself. A descendant of Yahshua, said that he bought a place, I don't remember how much acres, it was a lot of acres of land in Africa for African Americans, and he was talking about the Caribbeans and everybody that were slaves that are descendants of the slaves during the transatlantic slave trade that they need to repatriate back to Africa, which is what they need to do. Secondly, Marcus Garvey told us that we need to do the same, and what did we do? Push them away, right? Yeah, how can we forget? Your Edomite brother, Booker T. Washington, and your homeboy, supposed to be your homeboy W.B. Du Bois, sold us out, didn't they? But guess what? They're paying for it now. Paying for it now big time. Because of what they're doing. Booker T. Washington, y'all were around saying Booker T. Washington was a black hero. Booker T. Washington wasn't black. Booker T. Washington comes from a white father. Booker T. Washington's an Edomite. He's an Edomite pretending to be like y'all. And let's not forget about the great Frederick Douglass, who didn't even marry a black woman. So you guys call these as leaders. You guys look at the strangest people as leaders. I notice that y'all put W.E.B. Du Bois as a great hero. Y'all put Booker T. Washington as a hero. And y'all put Frederick Douglass as a hero. And the funny thing is, those are the 3 worst examples you could use as heroes. I would never look at them as heroes. They're not my heroes. They're your heroes. They're not my heroes. My hero is Marcus Garvey. Because if it wasn't for him, and Malcolm X. As a matter of fact, if it wasn't for Marcus Garvey, there would be no Martin Luther King. I'll be honest with y'all, but y'all only look at Martin Luther King as the only civil rights leader that ever done anything for America. So I guess he's the only one. I guess Marcus Garvey never came to the United States, never done anything. So you guys sit around there and put the fingers and the blame on other people, but it's your fault. Just remember that. I got a lot of love for y'all, but I'm trying to give y'all constructive criticism. If y'all, whether y'all take it or y'all don't accept it, then that's fine with me. Anyways, man, I gotta go, man. Thank you for being a part of the Tru-Dru show, spending this hour with me. I know you didn't have to spend an hour with me, but you chose to. And I got more love for you for that. And I got more things coming up because I'm putting out a lot of artists out. I was trying to get episode 6 on the Tru-Dru show, and I'm having problems trying to upload it. So it'll be probably uploaded after this. One love. Peace.